Ace on the beat, make it boom.
Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. As always, I'm Alan Ford.
I'm Will Hill.
And today's episode is about the documentary of Stone Cold Steve Austin, which is located, well, I found it on YouTube, but the full episode's on YouTube, but it's located on A&E's YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
No,
A&E. Yeah, they do it every Sunday with a wrestling thing. But for those who don't know, Stone Cold Steve Austin, how he began is about his rise.
Those who don't know.
Yeah, well, hey, you'd be shocked a lot who people don't know.
No.
There's people out there who don't know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is.
Impossible.
It is?
Impossible.
It is.
Unless they're children, all they know is John Cena.
John Cena? Well, yeah. But then you would still know who Stone Cold Steve Austin is.
You hear me?
But there's some people out there who don't know who Stone Cold Steve
Impossible.
Austin is. All right. I think it is. I guess some people out there who don't know who Shaq is.
I can believe that.
Or Kobe. Or Michael Jordan.
That I don't believe.
And there's people in Chicago who don't know who that man is. I'm going to be honest.
I don't believe that.
But that's a whole other thing. Steve Austin, who real name is Steve Williams, was born in Austin, Texas, and he grew up in Etna, town called Etna, where
small town in Texas.
He's the middle child, second oldest, and he was very shy. They said his sister said he would be in a line at Dairy Queen. They'll call his sister and tell her to place the order in, which that's a lot on a house phone because they didn't have cell phones.
I was like that when I grew up.
Really shy
I was
like
real
that?
shy. Yeah.
Real shy like that?
I didn't want to talk to people.
Well, who would think Steve Austin was shy? Or at this time, Steve Williams?
No, because Steve Williams was shy. Steve Austin was not.
Steve Austin was not. But also, what helped him get over shyness, this helps a lot of people too. Playing sports.
Yeah.
Playing sports breaks a lot of tension.
Especially like football. You
Yeah.
can't really be quiet in football.
No, you can't. You gotta.
All the testosterone. People gonna try you, so you have to be able to stand up for yourself.
Those team sports, you can't be quiet in basketball.
I think you could be a strong, silent type in basketball.
Really?
Because I think basketball is a more individualized sport.
But
so
you also got to talk team. You got to talk on defense and all that stuff too.
Yeah, but that's minimal.
That's true.
Football is a little bit different.
That is true.
Right.
All right. Yeah, but he did that. He was gifted. He actually took care of his body at a young age. Everybody else was eating like Debbie cakes and.
Yeah, his mom said he was in. Oh, that was his sister. Right?
That's his sister.
His
yeah.
sister was like, everybody's eating snacks. He ended up blending up a protein shake.
Eating protein bars, taking care of his body, eating egg whites only, and he taking care of his body at a very young age.
I mean, when you have the drive and want to do something, you do those things to do it.
Right.
You wanted to make it.
And then, when he was a young age, I guess he said his mom was reading a magazine. He was flipping through the TV, and he saw professional wrestling on the TV. And he said, "Mom, I'm going to be a wrestler." But he's stuck with sports, football. He got a full ride scholarship to Texas State University. He wasn't really feeling it about the dedication and the school work.
The education part.
Yeah, education part.
I feel like most athletes don't care about that part.
It's like, that's stupid. Derrick Rose had somebody take his test for him.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. In quotations. But yeah, a lot of people like calculus. What's calculus going to do in your real life?
I think back then, like,
That's
with
stupid.
technology not in your pocket, you needed to know like some basic math.
Right.
In some event, you needed those equations to do things. But now we got the computer in our pocket, right?
You just pick it up and learn it from there.
I don't need to know the Pythagorean theorem.
Technically, you don't even need school to learn anything. You can just Google it.
Yeah, I mean,
You just Google it. Go to the library. Read about it. That's how Matilda did it.
right. But instead of going to the library self-learning, I think as a society, there are things need to be taught in a school setting.
Okay.
A lot of it is dealing with other people. Like,
Yeah, that also teaches you social skills. I would say that. Well, then have school just teach you social skills, not this book work. Book work? I learned how to count in elementary school. I'm in college. Teach me how to have sets.
all right, back to
That's where you go. You go to
Steve
college
Williams.
to learn how to have sets and be social. That's all college is for.
Okay.
And then you come out with that.
Steve Williams.
you come out with big debt in college. That's what happens. All right, so Steve Williams at this time, he quit school, dropped out, as he would say. He was very honest in this whole documentary too.
I mean,
what you got to laugh for?
Right.
You know, he made it. He dropped school. He was a forklift driver, became a forklift driver.
He said he loved it.
Yeah, he said he could pull
good
it.
at it.
He said, I've never heard this expression. He could pull a tooth out with a forklift. That's got to be some painful ass shit. Because forklifts, you lift stuff. So how you pulling a tooth out? You got to be very gentle with a forklift.
Some people got it like that, like for
like,
real.
How's that? It can't even fit in your. Okay, that's a gentle way of how you use forklift. And then
you taking this term way too literal.
What? Could pull a tooth out with a forklift.
It's the precision of pulling the tooth out. That's what he's trying to say.
Yes, but also you didn't think to yourself, you can't pull anything with a forklift. You lift it. Hint the word forklift.
What do you mean? You can tie a string around the fork.
Okay, I guess he meant by that. I didn't think of the string. Didn't think of the string. You know what? We got off topic with that. And then he dropped. Him and his buddy used to go to like the indie wrestling things.
Yeah,
like the indie wrestling things.
What was the name of it?
I forgot the name of it doesn't matter. It's probably not even around anymore.
Oh.
But he went to the indie wrestling because they all got different names. It's so hard to keep up with the indie scene. They all got like different names. It's something that be here,
Pro Wrestling Federation,
right? And it's something that be here in like these high school gyms. Mm-hmm. They put them on the Bourbon Street. They got midget wrestling.
Yeah, I gotta go one time.
Oh man, it's
they
funny.
do cage fight.
You get a little kick out of that, man.
A little kick. I see.
They got cage fight. Oh, like the UFC.
Yeah.
I want to go to one of those too, like the boxing matches and stuff like that. Gary be having boxing matches.
We'll go to the next one. All right.
But yeah, he did that, and then I guess he knew it was fate. Sometimes fate just call you. You know, fate is just right there.
Yeah, your calling. Sometimes it just grabs you. Like, all right, this is it. This is what I want to do. This is what I'm going to do.
And so he goes. He founds this wrestling class for, I think his name was Chris Adams. Did I get that right? Yep, Chris Adams was a wrestling class, 3-day wrestling class. He saw on TV. He went to it. And I think Mick Foley was also there too.
Yeah.
And Mick Foley said,
he's up in the rafters, just looking down.
Up in the rafters, looking down. It's like, man, all these people are terrible except for that one gifted athlete. And that gifted athlete was Steve Williams at the time.
Yeah.
He was still going.
He went there. He thought it was gonna be a bunch of big guys.
Yeah,
it wasn't. It was a bunch of average people.
Yeah, and it's just him. It's like people just wanted to try it out. And then he was on the road traveling as Steve Williams. And what people don't know, the professional wrestler, one of the hardest business ever to break through in. Because you got to be seen. Because they said back then, at the time, you were getting like $20, $30.
I equate it to any amateur thing.
Right.
I mean, as comedians, we go do shows for free.
For free. Yeah, they didn't do for free. We did for free.
Right. I mean, I equate it to the same because, sometimes we have to travel long distances for $50. You know what I'm saying? That's it. It's not even a dent in the gas.
No.
So they was traveling long distances, a couple hundred miles.
States.
$10, $20.
$10, $20.
So he made what? I think he said he made $12K or something.
$12K a year, something like that.
Yeah,
yeah, a year.
It was terrible. That's
like,
not something you can live on. He said he was living on
tuna and potatoes. And then when he ran out of tuna fish, he just ate the raw potatoes.
Ate potatoes.
That's dedication right there, man.
Asked his mom for his birthday to send him $40 so he could eat.
And he was so happy to have that $40.
But that shows the dedication though. Like, because not me.
It is. And the payoff is huge. It was huge.
Yeah, but like I feel like the odds of that
happening.
Yeah.
Oh, he broke a bunch of odds too. And so I guess one day, one event he had while he was Steve Williams, he goes up to the promoter at this one match he had before the match. He said, "What's your name?" He said, "Steve Williams," and that was going to conflict with somebody else.
It was also Steve Williams.
Yeah, it was like also Steve Williams.
You got 15 minutes. Come on,
15 minutes. So before he came up with the name, it's like Steve, and then he said, I think he said Stunning Steve Austin or something like that. Stunning Steve Austin. He sent him on his way, and then he got recruited by WCW. Mm-hmm. At first. Yeah, nobody knew this. Stone Cold was on WCW. Steve Austin.
Who recruited him?
Jim Ross.
The WCW.
Good old JR recruited him to WCW.
I never realized how much of a role Jim Ross really played in the wrestling.
Yeah.
I thought he was just an announcer. No, that man.
They all. Yeah.
He helped build wrestling.
Good man, him, Paul Heyman, a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And they all rode the coattails of Stone Cold Steve Austin, who changed it completely.
They rode the coattails.
Yeah. But then I guess he was working for WCW.
He was doing good.
Stunned Steve Austin.
Well, you say started out at $75K?
Yeah, that's actually not bad.
That's a good living right now.
That's a good living. Yeah, that is. That's actually good.
To go from $12K eating tuna, maybe tuna, potato, to $75K.
75,000 a year.
That was starting.
That's hey.
What?
I'm thinking a normal a teacher makes what, 24,000 a year?
Yeah, like 30. Yeah,
30 something like that. Yeah, hey, he's making more than the average human.
Balling.
In the 80s, because and like this is early 90s. I want to say, yeah, in the early 90s, that's not bad. Good economy.
This is good now.
Yeah, it's good now. That's really good now. I can use that now. But no, he does that. He goes to WCW. I guess he goes to WCW when they were in Japan. They had a Japan tour. Mm-hmm. He was part of the Hollywood Blondes because they said he was from California and he had but he still had the Texas accent.
Yeah.
Like, who the fuck is this?
They don't know the difference.
Yeah, but he's from California and he came up. Well, no, he was
just
in Japan.
Gimmick. You just play the gimmick.
Yeah, just the gimmick. They all have gimmicks. Some of them use their real names. Others really don't. But they were in Japan. He does a move, jumps off, tears his right tricep, and then first ever major injury. He comes back to the States after surgery.
Well, he continued to wrestle with the injury.
He did. He had to finish the match.
I think he said they did like a couple other shows.
And he came back and he had the surgery, and then they fired him. They didn't lay him off. They fired him.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it was, though.
Yeah, that's kind of fucked up.
What was his name? Who ran that?
Eric Bischoff. Eric, let the monkeys run the asylum, Bischoff. Yeah, so WCW was at the time. They ain't listening to nobody else. But it was Eric Bischoff. And then once Eric Bischoff let him go, he went to ECW. Paul Heyman recruited him to ECW.
Like immediately.
Yes, which ECW is the reason wrestling is the way it is today.
Well, what do ECW stand for?
Extreme Championship Wrestling.
And they said they put the extreme.
Yeah, but they were one of the first people who had like actual real life characters, like real life into wrestling. Had that whole like backyard feel.
Yeah, they were jumping through tables.
Barbed wire, fire.
All that shit.
They did it all. Like, yeah, this is wrestling. That's when it was like all to like early 95, mid 90s, like that. And so he does that, and Austin is hurt. He's hurt.
Right.
When he can't wrestle, so he just
Paul Heyman recruited him. He was just like, I'm hurt right now. I can't perform. I don't know what you need from me. Nope. He's like, can you talk?
Yeah. Come on down and talk. And he talked about being
a microphone and say, just tell me how you feel.
He talked about being fired from WCW. All this stuff, man. And so afterwards, I guess Vince came to him, offered him he said he was offering a job. He figured he was getting more at WWF at the time, but I'm going to say WWE.
Right.
At WWE than he was getting at ECW. And then he goes off to WWE. They had to come up with a whole new name because they didn't like the Stunning Steve Austin. Mm-hmm. And then I guess he was watching something about a serial killer. His name Iceberg or something like that.
No, remember he was the ringmaster first.
Oh yeah, because that was stupid. Yeah,
he was the ringmaster for a few months. First. It was somebody who was supposed to be able to do everything in the ring.
Right, I'll skip that one.
He was just supposed to be well-rounded. So when he came to WWE, came in as ringmaster. But he hated it. He hated it because like he hated it from the beginning. But you're not gonna pass up on an opportunity to.
Just like let's do this. Let's see where this goes.
Like fuck it, Vince McMahon, you want me to be fucking ringmaster? I'm ringmaster.
Right.
So he took it and ran with it. Sometimes when it comes to opportunity, you just gotta take it for what it's worth. Get your foot in the door, which that's exactly what he did. He did what he had to do. It was lackluster, but he was performing. Yes. So,
and thank God he's not that persona
anymore. But he hated it, so he went to Vince and told him, I don't like this no more. Let me come up with something else.
Yeah. And I think that's when he was watching. I forgot the serial killer's name, but it was like Iceberg or something like that. He was the killer. Like he was watching.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Forgot the serial killer name, and he came up with a bunch of names.
He wasn't. Oh, I guess he wasn't. Like he was an assassin.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
he was a hitman.
He was a hitman, and I guess he's like Steve Iceberg Austin or Steve,
they came up with all these cold things.
Yeah, Steve Cold Brew,
Mr. Freeze,
Cool Breeze, shit like that.
Cool Breeze,
cool. It's like
Cool Runnings,
Cool Runnings. Yeah, it's Cool Runnings. Imagine him coming out to that theme song. Build a run.
I hear Bob playing the motherfucker.
No, but I guess his wife at the time handed him some coffee. And she
said, "Drink it before it becomes stone cold."
And he said, "Boom, that's your name."
She said it.
She said
always listen to the wife.
She gave it a name, and he just ran with it. And hint, birth, Stone Cold Steve Austin. He said he had to get his facial hair right. He shaved his head. He had to get the goatee. He said once he got the goatee,
right, the persona was there.
It was there.
But like you talking about, he had to shave his head. But from the look of it, the ringmaster was thinning. Oh, yeah. Like, bro, it was going, dog. Well, I can't say no. Hulk Hogan kept his. Like, he still got hair.
Oh, Hulk Hogan?
Yeah.
Oh, man, he's still alive.
He's gone up here, but still got hair.
Yeah,
so.
That's why he wore the headband later on in his career. And he put that thing down. But yeah, man, Stone Cold. Not a lot of wrestlers were wearing black like that either. He ordered the black boots. Like, everything about Stone Cold Steve Austin was just... Even the song. When you hear that theme song, somebody about to get their ass whooped.
You knew exactly what it was.
Like, shit.
And I think when it comes to wrestling, you have to have that iconic sound.
Right.
I shouldn't be guessing who is this when I hear your music. It should be boom. The second I hear anything of it, I should know exactly who this is.
You just know. When you hear the bells go off, Undertaker. Mm-hmm. You hear the bells go off, Undertaker. But when you hear that glass break, somebody getting their ass whooped. That's all you need to know. Somebody's getting their ass whooped. So then he starts this rise. He's the face of the WWE. He's selling merchandise. He's doing this all, and then he gets injured.
Oh, you ain't gonna talk about how he came up with Austin 316?
Oh, the Austin 316? Oh yeah, I can't skip that. That's pivotal. That is pivotal. I guess he had a match. He King of the Ring 1996. I want to say King of the Ring 96 or 97. I'm not sure. It's one of those. King of the Ring 96, 97. He has a match. Somebody kicks him in his lip. He busts his lip. He goes to the ambulance. Gets stitched up. He comes back.
These are like 16 stitches?
Yeah, 16 stitches in his lip. And you can tell, too. I had to go back and just watch that match and just see it. I was like, oh, yeah, you can see it on the thing. But I guess he gets kicked in the lip before his match with Jake the Snake Roberts because he knew he was going to win already. He goes against Jake the Snake Roberts.
Right, because Triple H fucked up.
Yeah, that was stupid. But at the time, it all worked out for him, too. Everything happened for a reason.
I mean, yeah, 100%. But, like... It was not supposed to be him. Triple H was supposed to be pretty much the next face, but him and a bunch of other guys, because like it's entertainment, so like they pretend to hate each other in the ring, yes. But they had a moment where they kind of showed that they are like friends.
Oh yeah.
What they call it, lifting the curtain.
Lifting
the curtain. They can see behind the curtain that they are friends. So.
It was a no frowned upon that point. Now they all do it now. So
I don't think so. I think there's still personas that hate each other, but they don't really hate each other.
They just working together. It's just the character
at
that point, at that time. And he goes against Jake the Snake. Michael Haynes, before the match, Michael Haynes comes and tells Stone Cold Steve Austin about the promo Jake the Snake Roberts just cut. And then Stone Cold Steve Austin had that in his head, said, all right, I must just say this.
Yeah, because Jake the Snake was quoting Bible
verses.
Right. So Stone Cold went in there. What do you say? Austin 3:16 reads.
He said you can quote all your Bible verse, but quote this: Austin 3:16 just kicked your ass, and then that blew up right there. Now Austin 3:16 is a thing. It's a national holiday right now. March 16th is a national holiday because of that. Right now at this point, and it's just he's selling. The vest was cool. Yeah, the black vest. The music played, the glass shaking. Just everything about Stone Cold Steve Austin was cool.
Right. He just catapulted to the top. He was the face. He was the man to beat. It was everything it needed to be. Him versus Vince McMahon.
Yes.
Like Stone Cold represented the average working man, you know what I'm saying, who drank beers and swore. Vince McMahon was the corporation.
And they did that. They did that after he got hurt, though, because when the Tombstone Power Driver, and I didn't know he asked Owen Hart, R.I.P. Owen Hart. I didn't know he asked Owen Hart that like you gonna like do it like the Undertaker, right? He said no, I'm gonna sit down, which is kind of hard to protect the wrestler if you sit down. Like,
you got to pick him up higher.
Yeah, you got to pick him up higher, and then your neck is exposed, and if you slip or something happens. So they ban like that sit down move, but the Undertaker still does. He protects you with your knees. It's the way to do it
because of space.
Yeah, and he didn't break his Stone Cold didn't break his neck. He just
he could have.
He could have.
He was the 1%.
Yeah.
Who took that injury?
He was 99% lucky.
1% tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
That's scary.
Yeah, they dropped on your neck like that to compress the spine. And
then
he said he couldn't feel his legs. But, like, it goes to show, like, the true testament of his real toughness, though. To continue to show. Like, to not let everybody know you're fucked up right now.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he said he couldn't feel his legs, but he still was able to. One, he had to win the match, which he did. It looked terrible, but a win is a win. Right.
Up, yeah.
And then he walked out of there.
Oh.
Couldn't feel his legs. Somehow or another, walked up out of there. Yeah, with the help of refs, but still, like I said, impressive. All day long. They told him he couldn't wrestle again.
And he ended up wrestling again. They always say that, but you know your body more than anybody else. They just fear you're going to have that injury. They just didn't put him in that situation.
Right.
Because they couldn't.
I mean, it's one of them, typically, you shouldn't wrestle again.
He never got in the ring with Owen Hart again after that. We all know why. That's kind of messed up, but still. And then he comes back, and then thanks to him, everybody is taking on this reality persona of like these reality characters.
Yeah, it wasn't cartoony.
It wasn't as cartoony, thanks to Stone Cold Steve Austin. So when Stone Cold comes back, they needed rivals, and the two rivals talked about was Vince McMahon, because Stone Cold had a bunch of them. He had Vince, Triple H, The Rock, Dude Love, The Undertaker. He had a bunch.
Well, that's his right ends.
Actually, the Triple H was a really good one.
I didn't follow.
But
so.
okay, yeah, that's true too as well. But they talked about Vince McMahon, and then they needed somebody because Vince couldn't really get in the ring with him like that, so they chose The Rock. Faced The Rock 3 times, and The Rock only won one of those matches, and that was the last match Stone Cold Steve Austin had in the ring.
The passing of the torch.
The passing of the torch, yes. Well, I think we both had to tell in. I think The Rock disappeared to Hollywood after that.
I mean, it was still passing of the torch.
It is. The rule is in wrestling, when you do your last match, you gotta go out on your back.
Oh, that what it is?
A lot of people lose their last match.
Oh,
Because it's the passing of the torch. It's a real rule.
Okay.
That's how it happens. But yeah, did that. Then stepped away. I think he was gone for like 3 years. He said he was gone from it.
He retired.
And then like most athletes in retirement, they get bored and just do shit.
Nah, because they really talked about how he had to try to juggle home life and being Stone Cold. Right, which is tough because he was on the road 90% of the time.
Oh, yeah, that's tough
you on the road. Your family's growing, bro. The family's not going to stop living. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're missing your kids grow. Your spouse is missing you. You're gone. He said when his second child was born, he was at the hospital for the birth, and immediately after that, he was gone.
On the road, he had to be. But now it's changed. Now they get a schedule.
Yeah.
They get vacation time and all that stuff.
Yeah, because they realized the detriment these people was going through.
Yeah.
It was not conductive of living a healthy life.
Because they talked about how private he was too. Like he was very private, and
wrestling was wrestling. His family was different.
Very different. But then, like during that time, he said they went to England to visit. I guess some family.
Her family, his wife, or his.
Then he said he talked on the phone with his daughter. I think like a few days later, she had a British accent.
Not a few days. They was there for a while.
Yeah,
but he didn't realize that he was busy. He just it's one of them things like you look up and like, what? Wait, how'd you get a UK accent? Like you have my accent from Texas. Like you lost your accent. How long have you been gone? And he didn't notice. And that's a pivotal moment for him.
And it's just a British accent. And then But it was the price of sacrifice. Most people say you have to sacrifice to get what you want. I'm like, oh, I guess he did his a different way.
Right? Did he?
Different time though. It was a different time.
Yeah, 100%.
Nowadays, if he wanted to do it, go on the road, he could do it. Because a lot of them take their kids with them, especially in the summer. They take their kids with them.
Yeah, but I mean, we've done the Ric Flair one.
No,
the plane.
A different time. It's not the same thing.
I'm just saying, but that's what they did then.
Yeah,
that was normal. So like, you wouldn't bring your kids around that.
No, I would not either.
Like,
not a Ric Flair, not an attitude era. Hell no.
You couldn't. It was different.
They had the Godfather who had a hose. He had a whole train. Imagine the hose on the plane. The whole train on the plane.
All right, come on, let's wrap this up.
Godfather. All right. Let's see, what do I rank this documentary? I give this a 5. I am a pro wrestling fan. Big time pro wrestling fan. I could sit there and watch that documentary all day. No problem with the length. I just wish they dive more into the other rivalries, but mainly it's about Stone Cold.
Maybe like a 3.8. I'm not a huge wrestling fan.
No, I didn't get that from the energy you're getting off this whole podcast.
What do you mean? I was engaged.
Yeah, I know, but okay.
No, I just didn't follow. Like you said, like for you enjoy it. So like, you know about all the extra like rivalries and stuff in which it was included. I didn't know about it, so like I can't miss something I didn't know was there. But as far as a doc, like it was a good doc. No, I take that back. I went a 4.2. I feel like it covered like a lot that I didn't know about Stone Cold. Like I grew up in that era, so like yeah, I knew Stone Cold. One thing I wish they'd talked about is how he came up with the what.
Oh yeah, they missed out on that.
Yeah, I'm like I was waiting on it the whole time, and I'm like, wait a minute, like they still do that right now. Like so, it's like
somebody speaking Spanish and be like, what?
How do you miss such like another iconic thing that he caused that I think will forever be a part of pro wrestling? And it's like, how do you miss that? Like
it is because they do it to all the foreigners, boy. They come in there, they speak their nonsense. They be like, "What?"
Again, I don't watch it. I was somewhere and it was on the TV and somebody was talking. They wasn't even a foreigner. They was just talking, and the whole crowd, this whole stadium was screaming, "What?" Every time he took a break, and I was just like, "Wait, y'all still do this? Like y'all still do this?"
Because he did it first, not Little John.
Yeah.
Stone Cold did that first. But that concludes this episode. Let's talk about it. As always, follow us on Instagram.
I wouldn't even finish. You just come here. No, I'm done. Go ahead. Go ahead. No,
go
close
ahead.
out.
Go ahead. Come on, man. Stop, man. I already got yelled at about this earlier.
No, go ahead. Close out.
Come on. Are you done?
Yeah.
You really done?
Yeah.
If you got some more to say,
I don't.
You don't. Mm-hmm. It sound like you were done though.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
You sure?
Would you close us out?
You're not done. Okay. You're not done.
Close us out.
All right. As always, that's the concludes this episode of Let's Talk About It. Follow us on Instagram at LDAIPod22. Like us on YouTube, Spotify, Facebook, and TikTok at Let's Talk About It.
We on TikTok?
Yeah, we've been on TikTok for a while.
Okay.
I post once a week. I told to get post once a week for the podcast. I read that. Okay. But yeah, you follow me at Florida Comedy at my name's Alan Ford. You can follow me at Florida Comedy. And I also released an album out. Go ahead and listen to that. A Mixtape of Funny Volume 1.
I'm Will Hill. I don't have an album, but you can follow me everywhere at Simply Just Will.
Peace.
It's on a beat, make it boom.